Pilar is here. I think she's here, but she's, yeah. Okay, so who can tell me what a verbal is? What is a verbal? Just from recall.
A verb doesn't have to be a verb.
Okay, that's even better if you raise your hand. A verb that doesn't act like a verb.
Or another part of speech, right?
Or a verb that acts as another part of speech. Okay? So you need to keep that in mind. Think about that initial picture I gave you at the umbrella. There are 3 verbals. Who can name them? Who can name Owen?
Infinitive, participle, and gerund.
Okay, infinitive, participle, gerund. Who can tell me what a gerund is? Huh?
A verb that acts as a noun.
No.
What's it end in?
No.
Oh, that ends in ing.
Verb that ends in ing acts as a noun. What's a participle, Davis?
It's a verb that acts as an adjective and it ends in ing, in, d, or t.
Awesome. That's great. And now we're doing infinitives. And what's an infinitive, Grayson?
Two plus verb uses noun.
Or?
Adjective.
Or?
Adverb.
Adverb. Okay, so this is like the big kahuna. It has all sorts of things that it can do. Bless you. So look on the back of this, and we're going to look at infinitive phrases. So Spencer, can you read that definition of infinitive phrases?
An infinitive plus any words that modify or complement it. The entire phrase acts as a noun, adjective, or adverb.
So you guys remember, gerunds could become gerund phrases. Participles, participle phrases. We're going to do infinitive phrases. Big picture, an infinitive acts like a noun, adjective, or adverb. But little picture, when it's part of a phrase, it reverts back to being a verb. Okay? So let's look at this first one. Oh, at the top of this, would you write this down? Maybe, did we do this on Friday? These are the questions. If an infinitive is an adverb. Okay, so write this down. If an infinitive is an adverb, it is going to answer the why or how questions. So you know, you've got like 8 adverb questions. Write it down, Jack. It's not going to answer all those. You don't need to remember all those. It's going to be why or how. That's going to be how we know that that infinitive is acting as an adverb. If it's acting as an adjective, it's going to answer the questions what kind or which. It's not going to answer how many. Just write it at the top. Okay, it's just a guideline.
Wait, I already wrote.
You might have. Yeah, I thought I talked about that with one class, but okay. And if it's a noun, it's going to answer the question what. This is going to be really important with the infinitive phrases. When we did infinitives on Friday, it's like 2 plus a verb. Super easy. But now we're going to try to drill down and figure out, is that acting as a noun or an adjective or an adverb? Okay? So let's look at the first sample. Tate, what is the infinitive phrase in example 1? We counted cars to pass the time.
To forget. Oh, sorry. To pass
And there's more to it because it's part of a phrase.
the time.
To pass the time. Okay, so you would underline that. Go ahead and underline that. And then what is it, Tate?
Adverb.
Okay, it's acting as an adverb. What question is it answering?
Why?
Why? We counted cars. Why? To pass the time. Okay?
I'm
So
sorry,
just
what is
un-
we counted cars?
Huh?
We counted cars. What is we counted
Subject, verb, direct
cars?
object.
Okay.
Okay.
And then to pass the time.
Yes. So Sarah, the next one. I want to run marathons. What's the infinitive phrase?
To run marathons?
To run marathons. And Lena, can you tell us if it's a noun, adjective, or adverb?
It's a noun.
It's a noun. How did you know it was a noun?
I want to do what? To run.
Yeah, so it's answering that what question, and it's in the place of a direct object. So write noun. Okay, number 3. My sister wants to play with her friend. Reagan, what is the infinitive phrase with that?
To play with her friend.
Okay, that whole thing, to play with her friends. And Griffin, what is it? Is it a noun, an adjective, or an adverb?
Where are we?
Example, the third sentence under example. Okay, why would you say it's a noun?
I'm a good guesser.
Because what, Griffin?
I'm a good guesser.
You're a good guesser. Anybody have a what? An it's acting as a direct object, okay? But Griffin, focus where we are. So let me give you another sentence I want you to write down. Write this, under those examples, write one more. Her desire to grow flowers comes from her mom. Her desire
Yeah, I found it.
You should be underlining, okay, so you count it, okay, so it's back, and you should be underlining more on the back side. And you said underlining, okay, so, let's see, Zach, can you tell me, what is the infinitive phrase in that sentence on the board?
Grow.
Is there more to it?
Speaker flowers.
To grow, to grow flowers, so this whole thing, okay? And then, is it a noun, an adjective, or an adverb, huh?
It's a noun because it answers the question, what does
Okay.
she desire to grow flowers?
So hold on. Her desire what? You just used desire as a verb, but this is a noun. Here's our subject. Here's our verb. Anybody else want to take an educated guess of what to grow flowers is? Spencer?
Action.
Adjective. What's it describing?
Which?
Which desire? Okay? So this is an adjective. So you could go, her desire to have a steak, her desire to go to college. It's none of those. It's her desire to grow flowers. So one little clue is if it comes right after a noun, it's probably going to act as an adjective. Okay? Okay, so let's look at the homework. Let's look at this exercise. So what you're going to do, underline the infinitive phrase, indicating the column whether they're being used as a noun, adjective, or adverb. And then if it's being used as a noun, what is its noun job? Subject, direct object, or indirect object? I can tell you it's going to be a subject or a direct object. You can just cross out indirect object. So number 1, Julie, what's the infinitive phrase? To forget, so underline to forget, and then what is it? It's a noun, and what is the noun job it's doing? Subject. So you should write noun, subject noun, okay? Okay, number 2, Amanda, what's the infinitive phrase?
To do his best.
To do his best, and Jaden, what do you think it is? Is that acting as a noun, adjective, or adverb? It comes right after a noun, which is one clue. Isaac?
Adjective.
Adjective. It's the same as this. His decision. Which decision? To do his best. So you're just writing adjective. Okay, I want to jump down to number 6. Audrey, I want you to do this one. His brother lives to sleep. What's the infinitive phrase? To sleep. Jack, what is it acting as? Is it a noun, adjective, or adverb?
Adverb.
Yeah. What question is it answering?
Out.
Okay, now you knew it was an adverb without looking at the question, so I'm curious, why did you think it was an adverb?
I guessed.
You guessed, okay. Well, I will tell you, if it comes after a verb, it's gonna be either a direct object or an adverb. And so this, you wouldn't say, his brother lives what? It's more, his brother lives, Tate?
Why?
Why? Yeah, okay, so adverb. Okay, now you guys are gonna have to do some diagramming, so I wanna show you, and I'm gonna make a change in what I told you this week because I wanna stay aligned with Grammar Revolution. So let's look at, can anybody tell me, how do we diagram infinitives? Davis, do you remember?
Like a, swoop line.
Not a swoop line, it's like this.
Oh, yeah, like a prepositional phrase.
Yeah.
On stilts.
On stilts. And I think on Friday I said, hey, if it's acting as a noun, we're gonna put it on stilts, and if it's acting as an adjective or adverb, we're not. Okay, that's what I'm gonna change. We're gonna keep it on stilts. So I'll show you how. So let's look at number 2 as an example. So Grayson, what's the subject in number 2? His decision to do his best was a fortunate one.
Decision.
Okay, decision. And what's the, Joy, what's the verb? Was. Okay, Jackson, what's the question we're gonna ask next? And we know this, here's a linking verb, so something's gonna come after it.
What was it? Or,
His decision was
to do his best.
was what?
Yeah.
And what's the answer to that,
To do his
Jackson?
best.
Huh?
To do his best.
No, it has to come after the
Oh.
was.
Yeah.
What was it? One, yeah. So make sure you look through it. It's not just it was a fortunate, it was one, a fortunate one. You guys should be writing this as your sample. Okay? And so then to do his best is an adjective. Here's how you're gonna do it. You are gonna come down and do like a prepositional line, but you're going to put your infinitive on that. So to do. Now, little picture in that phrase, it's acting as a verb, Griffin. So to do what? We're on number 2. To do what? Best is going to be the direct object. Oh, yeah. And his describes best. And that whole thing goes on stilts. Okay? And hopefully that will be easier, just to remember, they're all gonna be on stilts. If it's an adjective or adverb, if it comes under your horizontal line, you're gonna draw this little preposition thing and sit it on top of that. If it comes above, then you just do it straight off the horizontal line. Okay, let's do one of them from your homework, and then I will turn you loose. Somebody pick one of those to do.
13.
13, okay. So let's do this. Clark was afraid to acquire any treasure on his ship. This is a good call because this one's long. So Jaden, what's the subject of that sentence? Clark. And Jack, what's the verb?
Failed.
Failed. Okay. Clark failed what? Zach?
Too
Okay, there's more that goes with that. Any treasure on his trip. So we should know, what is that infinitive acting as? If it answers the direct object question, what's it acting as?
Now.
Noun. Okay, so you should have that written. So we've got a direct object, and here's how we're gonna do it. To acquire. So we're gonna put it right here where direct object goes. So we get this up here, and then that entire phrase is up on stilts. So we're gonna treat acquire as a verb now. So to acquire what, Reagan? Treasure. Okay, and any modifies treasure. Okay, here's the tricky part. On his trip. That's gonna be up here, but do we put it under treasure or acquire?
Quiet.
Why?
Because it's an adverb.
How did you know?
Adverbial phrase.
Uh-huh.
Because when did he acquire?
Where?
Or where did he?
Where?
acquire?
Yeah. So we acquired where? On trip his. So do you see that whole thing is acting as a direct object, but we've got to break it into these little parts. So that's a gimme for your homework. Now, you guys have 20 minutes. I am confident everybody's going to finish their homework, and if we all get done